She booked a beach house to escape everything her past, her pain, her loneliness, but the moment she stepped inside, something felt wrong. The air was heavy, the silence too perfect, and the ocean outside seemed to whisper her name. At night, she heard footsteps where no one walked, and shadows moved without light. By the time she realized she was never alone in that house, it had already decided she would never leave. There's something unnatural about silence by the ocean, and I realized that too late, when the waves at Killian's Point stopped crashing. One night, like they were afraid of disturbing something older than time, something watching gunned, remembering. My name's Eliza Cole, and this happened 5 summers ago when I rented a secluded beach house in Maine with my fiancé Drew, hoping to escape the city, recover from a miscarriage, and maybe rediscover our connection after months of silence and unspoken grief. The house was perfect on paper, old, charming, perched on the edge of a cliff overlooking a private beach, but something about it felt too staged, like a postcard that hadn't been updated in decades. From the moment we stepped inside, I felt watched, like the walls were holding their breath. There were dusty family portraits, nailed directly into the wood, no wires, no hooks, as if they had never been meant to come down. Every night, I woke up at exactly 3:09 a.m. to the sound of soft thumping, like someone barefoot, pacing the hallway, dragging a foot slightly behind. At first, Drew said I was imagining it, that my mind was making ghosts from grief, but I could tell he heard it too, just wouldn't admit it. On the 3rd night, I noticed a wet footprint outside our bedroom, leading toward the staircase. The windows were shut, the alarm set, and the sand outside was untouched. I followed the print and found nothing except a lingering scent of salt water and mildew. The 4th night was when everything fell apart. Drew came into the room, pale, saying he'd heard a woman crying on the beach. I ran down with him, but there was no one there, just a fresh set of child-sized footprints leading into the water and stopping abruptly. No return trail. That's when Drew told me the locals warned him about the house before we came at it. Had been abandoned for decades after a family drowned one stormy night. The bodies never found. The father was accused of murdering them all before vanishing into the surf. I was furious he hadn't told me, but part of me already knew. House felt like a secret waiting to be remembered. That night, we heard knocking from inside the walls. Not scratching. Knocking. Deliberate. Rhythmic. Almost like a message. When we tried to leave, the front door wouldn't open. Not jammed, locked from the outside. Drew smashed a window and cut his arm badly, but we made it out to the porch, only to find our car gone, even though neither of us had the keys. We ran barefoot up the beach trail in the dark, and I swear I saw a figure in the upstairs window of the house, a woman holding something limp in her arms, maybe a child. The authorities found us hours later, hysterical, dehydrated, Drew bleeding. They said no one had rented that house in over 17 years. They showed us the records. It had been boarded up, condemned, and the owners were long dead. But I had receipts, emails, a contract. All of it vanished from my phone. My inbox wiped clean. Even the GPS history was gone. It was like the house hadn't just trapped it, had erased us. Drew was never the same. He stopped speaking altogether, and a month later, he walked into the Atlantic fully clothed. They never recovered his body. I moved back inland, got therapy, tried to rebuild. But every year on the anniversary, I get a letter in the mail with no return address. Inside is a photo of that beach house, different each time. In one, the window is open, a pale hand hanging out. In another, there's a small boy at the edge of the water, half submerged, waving. This year, the photo was of me, standing on the porch at night, though I haven't been back. I live in Chicago now, nowhere near the coast. I've never taken that photo. I've tried to burn them, but they always return. And the nightmare there, no longer dreams. I wake up choking on salt water, sand between my teeth, hearing a lullaby I never learned, but can hum perfectly. I hear the thumping at 3:09 a.m. again, even in my apartment. And sometimes, when I open my closet, I swear I smell the sea. People say grief does strange things to the mind. Maybe it does. Or maybe the ocean never forgets its debt, and the house at Killian's Point never forgives anyone who tries to leave it behind. I don't sleep much anymore. I sit by the window at night, watching, waiting, because I know it's coming back for me. It always does. Some places were never meant to be disturbed, and some stories were never meant to be found, but once you hear them, they cling to you like salt in your skin or whispers in your sleep. If you ever find yourself in a house that feels too quiet, too still, remember silence can scream the loudest. Thank you for watching, and if your walls start to knock tonight, just know, some doors, once opened, never truly close.